Ladies and gentlemen, today I will show you 5 tips and 5 rules for buying a Chevrolet C8 Corvette. Hello everyone and welcome back to Brink of Speed. I want to thank you so much for pressing that play button and joining me today. I'm super excited about doing another one of these types of videos for you guys. I did a tips and rules video for buying a C7 Corvette back a couple of years ago, and it has performed absolutely amazing. Lots of great comments, and it's got 100,000 views. So I'm super excited about doing this for the C8 Corvette. But real quick, before we get into it, my thumbs up squad has been absolutely incredible. You guys are smashing that thumbs up button right when the video starts. And for those of you who are new to the channel that don't want to smash that thumbs up button until you believe the video warrants a thumbs up, no problem at all. But for those of you who have smashed it already, thank you so much. I hugely appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, also consider joining this wonderful Brink of Speed community by smashing that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. All right, let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, I'm super excited to be able to do another one of these tips and rules videos, only this time it's for the C8 Corvette. So let's go ahead and get started with the first tip. And the first tip is, first of all, you have to decide if you want to buy a new C8 or a used C8. And if you decide to buy a new C8, then obviously you are going to want to do some research and figure out, first of all, how long do you want to wait on getting a new Corvette? And that can vary anywhere from 5 to 6 months all the way to 2 years, just depending on the dealership that you go through. So that is going to matter big time, what dealership you actually go through. And I'll get more into that later. But that's as far as new. As far as used, you're going to have to make your mind up on how much you're willing to pay over MSRP for a used C8 Corvette, because as you know, they are all going for way over MSRP. And again, I'll get into that a little bit more later on in this video. But that's the first tip. Now, the first rule is do a lot of research, either to find a new dealer who you can get your C8 at MSRP, because that's another thing that you're going to have to figure out, is what dealership is going to actually sell you a C8 Corvette at MSRP, and you're going to want to find one that will get you a C8 fairly quickly. Now, I've recommended in the past that you go to a rural dealership who does not get near as many allocations as the larger dealerships, and a lot of times those rural dealerships will be able to get you a C8 quicker than the larger dealerships. And that has come true over and over again. I have lots of examples of that from my neighbor Mark. He ordered a classic Chevrolet C8 Corvette and he still has not received that. And he ordered it in August of 2020. So it's been almost a year and a half. Then he ordered in May of 2021 from Holiday Chevrolet and got his car in October of 2021. So that tells you right there. And then there's plenty of people that have emailed me after I told them to go to rural dealerships, and they let me know that they got their cars really quickly within like 4 to 6 months. So there's that. The second part of that rule is you're going to want to try and find, if you're going used, a used C8 with the lowest above market price. And that's going to take a lot of research, either by going to places like cars.com, which is what I'm on right now, or autotrader.com, which is what I'm on now, or you can go to Corvette World and try and find one there. Because as you know, and what Robert and I have been telling you for a long time, is even though they are priced above MSRP, they are usually lowest above market price. So, or above MSRP for that particular car. So either one of these 3 are very good avenues to find a used C8 Corvette at the lowest possible price above MSRP. All right, let's move on to tip number 2. Next, go to Chevrolet's website and use the builder/designer to help you decide on trim level, options, and packages for your C8 Corvette. So before you look for a new or used, go on the builder, go on the visualizer, both, and figure out exactly what you want your C8 Corvette to look like and how much it's going to cost you if you go ahead and order a brand new one. That way you have all the information you need to buy either a new or used, either way. So that is really important. Now, rule number 2 is don't pay for things like the Z51 package just to say that you have the best version of that C8. Don't pay for options and trim levels that you don't need, that are not necessary, just so that you have whatever the best of the best is. Make sure that you actually want and need the options and packages for that C8 Corvette before you go out and buy one with those options or packages. All right, let's move on to tip number 3. Whether you buy new or used, always do a lot of research and take your time making that decision. So just like I said before, do lots and lots of research. You're gonna hear that over and over again in this video, but make sure you take your time. When I buy a used vehicle, it takes me months and months to make a decision on something because I want to make sure that I'm buying the very best of the best when I'm spending a lot of money especially. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants and go out and buy something quickly unless it's something like that's brand new. I mean, if you find a used C8 Corvette with 5 or 10 miles on it, then obviously you know there's nothing wrong with that car. And if it's priced right for you, jump on it. But if you're gonna buy something with 15 to 20,000 miles on it, make sure you take your time and ensure that it is everything that you want it to be and that it was taken good care of. All right, let's go to rule 3. Don't ever buy a Corvette that has been heavily modified. So I broke this rule one time and I'll never break it again. I broke it with my 2009 C6 Z06. I should have never really bought that car. It was highly modified and I had a lot of issues with it. So do yourself a favor and do not buy a highly modified Corvette. All right, let's move on to tip number 4. Once you've picked which Corvette you think you want to go with, go and drive one and make sure you really want it after you drive it. There's a lot of people that see cars, they love the way they look, however, they've never ever driven one, and they really don't know if they're going to enjoy it after they buy it. However, with the C8 Corvette, I think it's a really safe bet that you're going to love it big time after you purchase it, but still make sure that you do love it before you buy it. And if you don't have a dealership around like Corvette World, make sure that if you're buying a used car from an individual, tell them, hey, I am not buying this until you either give me a ride in it or let me drive it a little bit, like around the block. I'm not going to get on it. I'm going to treat it with respect. I just want to make sure this is the car for me. Make sure you do that. It will save you a lot of agony after you buy your car because you know for a fact that you love it before you give that money to the individual or the dealership. All right, we're going to move on to rule 4. Be cautious when buying a Corvette with several previous owners, especially if the warranty is already expired. So this kind of coincides with rule 3, but it kind of ups the game a little bit. Don't buy a car with lots of previous buyers. That's another thing that I did with my 2009 Z06. It had like 3 previous buyers. I was the 4th. That's not a really good sign. That basically means that people kept saying, no, I don't like this car, and passed it on to someone else. So if your car is a one-owner car and you're the second owner, that's the best possible case scenario. But just make sure when you're looking at your Carfax on that car that you're about to buy, that the previous owners did a lot of maintenance on the car, they kept it up, and that it still has a valid warranty. That's another super important thing. And if it's eligible for an extended warranty, which any C8 Corvette will be, I would highly recommend purchasing one, especially these days, because they aren't that expensive and you get your money back prorated when you sell the car after buying that extended warranty. All right, let's move on to tip number 5. Now, if you have decided to buy new, as I've stated many times, make sure to choose a dealer that will keep you in the loop with their monthly allocations and how these are affecting your order status number. So make sure that this dealership is trustworthy enough to keep you always in the loop when they get new allocations each month to let you know, all right, now you are number 89 instead of 110 because we've gotten this many allocations and it's moving you up in the order process so that you are well informed. A lot of dealerships out there never contact you. You have to contact them. And even when you do, they give you the runaround and just are not truthful with you. So try and find a dealership that's going to be upfront and truthful with you. It's going to make your process a lot smoother and a lot less headaches. Now, if you decide used is the way you want to go, find a private seller with low miles that you have figured out you can trust, or find a place like Corvette World. As you know, I trust Corvette World big time, and so should you. They are not going to do you wrong, and all of their cars are high quality, amazing cars. But either way, you will bring home a beautiful C8 Corvette if you do both of those things that I just talked about. Do your research big time, ladies and gentlemen. It will pay off at the end. All right, last but not least, rule number 5. Always go into the dealership with a plan and a pre-approved financing from your bank or credit union. This just gives you good power right up front when you walk into the dealership to buy a new car, whether it's a C8 or any other car. Always have that information with you, because there are plenty of dealerships that will pull your credit, waste your time, show you that your credit score is really high, and then show you a high rate. That's nonsense when you could get a low rate because you have great credit, because they make money off of those rates on the back end of the rate. So make sure, again, do lots of research, come prepared, and your process of buying a used or new C8 Corvette will go smoothly and you'll love it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's really going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this just as much as the C7 Corvette video. If so, give me a big thumbs up, and as always, if you don't want to miss any of these types of videos, make sure to smash that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys out on the road.